We have a major environmental crisis going on right now in North Carolina that's affecting Virginia, basically because of the way the river leads.
It's all over the news.
It's all over everything. So, yeah, it's all over the news, exactly. No, you're going to have to get it here. So 82,000 tons of coal sludge is spilling for days now, for about 5 days, into the Dan River in North Carolina. It's coming from the Duke Energy plant, and basically a hole in the stormwater drainage pipe burst, and it's leaking into the pond. They don't know when it's going to be cleaned up, or even if they'll ever truly be able to dredge the pond and get all the stuff out of there. And by the way, coal ash, this is a great quote, is, quote, known to contain a witch's brew of toxic chemicals, including lead, arsenic, mercury, and radioactive uranium. Again, 82,000 tons of this stuff is leaking right now.
And there's no word from, they're like, when are you going to clean it up? I don't know. I don't know if we can.
Yeah, I mean, they literally are saying they're not saying when the leak will be cleaned up.
If you didn't have reasons to hate Duke before.
Might not be the same Duke.
So this is going back to, the problem with West Virginia and the freedom industries, like they're not cleaning that up either. Nobody knows what to do. One day they say drink the water, the next they say pregnant women shouldn't, and nobody's giving anybody, and then no one's in control. Even the EPA they were like, oh, we thought that the state was going to be testing. We thought they were going to be doing. It's weird to see how there was really there's a breakdown in dealing with these problems right now. I think, like they say, these are the biggest environmental disasters ever, maybe, with that drinking water one. Isn't this crazy that this is happening? And it's like, it's not an alarm. Like, it's not setting off a big alarm now.
The sludge is actually working its way to Danville, which is in Virginia, and that's the river that they get their drinking water from.
Yes.
So this is actually something that you might put in your body, not just one of those ideas of somewhere,
Listen to what
something's
these
happening.
guys say. This is Wednesday, said the company was, quote, exploring multiple options to permanently and safely seal the broken stormwater pipe that was going from the pond into the river that released the ash into the river, but did not say when the leak would be sealed or if the river could be cleaned.
Yes.
Like they have no answers.
So let's remember how they got started with the EPA. So it was Richard Nixon started with the EPA, and what really they say pushed it over to make it happen was the Cuyahoga River in Ohio used to catch fire all the time. The river. Yeah. And it just so happened one day there was a reporter from the New York Times happened to see the river catch on fire, and he took a picture of it, and then it went in and he wrote a story about it, and that was the thing. People couldn't believe that rivers would catch on fire, right? So that was like, that's how polluted they were. So that's what led to the EPA and all the cleanup and having an environmental consciousness. That was the tipping point. So I think we're going to get there again, right? So we've been doing this deregulation for the last 30 years since Ronald Reagan, and it seems like, it's got to get worse before it gets better, but maybe this will help us wake up.
So I think that there's a couple of things at play here. I don't think it's an accident. Well, here's what I mean by that. Is this particular spill an accident? Of course it is, right? They didn't intend it. They don't want it. It's going to cause them damage and bad publicity and money, et cetera, right? But it's not an accident in the sense that they have been deregulating and cutting government agencies that would look out for things like this. So they've been cutting the EPA's budget. And if you cut the EPA's budget, then sometimes they don't properly coordinate with the state authorities, et cetera. They don't have enough manpower to look into every Duke Energy out there. And so today it was Duke Energy. Another day it'll be another company, and it won't be North Carolina, it'll be, and then it was West Virginia a couple of weeks ago. It'll be Montana, it'll be North Dakota. It'll be all over because there's not enough people looking after it, and that's not by accident. That's on purpose because the Duke Energies of the world and the freedom industries of the world grease our politicians to look the other way, and the talking point that they use to do that is, you don't want government over-regulating our freedom industries. That would be taking our freedom away. Well, in Virginia and North Carolina, it's in North Carolina, it's heading towards Virginia. Well, enjoy the freedom that Duke Industries, Duke Energy in this case, is bringing you.